Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm glad to be with you here today. I have day 2 of our Painterly Pears Suite online class for the week, and I am loving these cards. I hope that you are loving them as well. I had a friend come over yesterday and look at the cards in person, and when she saw them, she bought the entire suite. She said, "These are stunning," and I agree, they are stunning. They're just beautiful, beautiful cards that will make whoever receives them feel very special, right? So I'm here at kind of an odd time today. I usually come on around noon. I have a couple of meetings I need to get to this afternoon, well, later this morning. And also my dog Rory is at the vet getting spayed today, so they could be calling me at any moment to come pick her up. So I decided I better get this in while I can, right? So when you hop in, let me know you're here. Before we get started with today's Fun Fold card, I want to go over a few announcements with you, if that is okay. I am having a fundraiser this week for our Texas neighbors in Kerrville who experienced the awful flood on 4th of July. I'm giving all my commissions from any orders this week to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. This is an organization that will help whoever needs it, right? Like all vetted organizations, individuals with great needs, all kinds of ways that they help first responders, local governments. I'm reading from my little sheet here: response, relief, and recovery efforts. So if you would like to join me this week by placing an order, any order is fine. If you place an order of $20 or more, you will get this week's online class to go recipe card for free from me in the mail. And if you place an order of 50 or more, I'll send you the make and take kit for these beautiful cards this week, plus the PDF, plus my talented tutorial team's 15 project monthly PDF. And this month's was awesome. We used the sketches from the catalog, encased those. If you already got one of those because you placed a $50 order last week, I will send you something else in replace for that. Okay, so everybody wins here. I just want to do my part. Okay, so if you would like to help me with that, I would love your order, big or small. All right, so I have a Coneflower Celebrations card class coming up on July the 19th. You can come in person or get it to go. This class will close registration on the 12th. Okay, so that's just 4 days away. So if you would like to be a part of the Coneflower Celebrations class in person or to go, it is a mega class. You make 8 cards to each of 4 designs, plus everything you need ready to go, plus a little extra DSP and ribbon and all of that. So I will put the link to that class up in the description after this video is over. Next, I have to announce that starting tomorrow through Friday, we have 20% off all of our two-tone cardstock. So real quickly, I want to, in case you haven't seen our two-tone cardstock before, we now carry it in all of our color families, okay? And then just real quick here, I want to show you two-tone cardstock. So this is the Greeny Apple Green in two-tone, and you can, hi Jen, thanks for joining me. You can really see the difference in the tones, right? So one side is this darker tone, one side is just a shade lighter, same color family, right? So if I flip these over, You can see that switches, okay? So there's lots of things you can do with two-tone cardstock. It has a white core in it, which means you can emboss and sand it. You can tear, like I'm doing right here, and get a white edge. That's kind of fun for some detail on some projects. It's a little lighter weight than our normal cardstock, so has some different uses to it, right? It would not be great as a card base on its own, but definitely layered on some other cardstock, it would be beautiful. Great for scrapbooking. So all of our colors come in two-tone cardstock now. So if you would like to get in on that sale, the two-tone cardstock sale begins tomorrow and lasts till Friday, and you get 20% off all that two-tone cardstock, okay? All right, I'm going to go back to my face here. Real quickly, we have a craft along coming up, Tractor Tidings and Holiday Cheer Craft Along. You can get a kit in the mail to make all 8 of our projects, plus $50 worth of product, okay, including designer series paper, full rolls of ribbon, full packages of embellishments. Amazing projects. I partnered with Jen Chow, Monica Gabberti, and Kim Allen on this, and we are going to do 4 straight days of Facebook Lives, 2 projects every day, starting on July the 28th. So if you would like to get your kit in the mail ahead of time and craft with us, we would absolutely love to get that kit in the mail. I will put the registration link to that up in the description as well, okay? And lots of new products available. We just had a big dump of online exclusives and some new awesome kits. So go to my website, shown right there on the screen, TuddleUpShop.com, if you would like to see what's available there. Also, I sent out a new newsletter today, and the best way to always find out about events, specials, all of those things is to be a part of my newsletter list. So every video, I put a link to join my email list. If you would like to find out more about everything going on, please click that link and let me use your email and send you my newsletters. And I always send out reminders when registrations are about to close and all of those things. So, think about being on my email list and finding out all the information as soon as possible, okay? All right, I'm going to move to my hands here. I'm going to start by showing you the cards that we made yesterday. And like I said, I think these are gorgeous. So very simple one here, day number 1. A friend is a gift. I love how that shiny ribbon just pokes out from behind this placket here. We've got some embossing going on. We actually die cut these pears right out of the designer series paper, which is fun. And then this was the inside of that card. So pretty. So that was card number 1. This was card number 2. We used just strips of the DSP in various places. Again, some embossing going on there. We colored our pears this time by using a sponge dauber. We're going to do that again today. This beautiful ribbon, again, you can see those shiny dots. My friend that came over yesterday said those dots are so pretty, so much prettier than what you can capture on camera, and I totally agree with that. And then this was the inside of that card. And then this was our kind of wow card yesterday. Isn't this gorgeous? So pretty. We used some of those flirty flamingo flowers. We've got that lovely ribbon. We used the party banners on this one. And then this was the inside of that card. So all gorgeous, gorgeous cards. So that is the first 3 projects for this week's online class to go. Okay. The next one is the one we're doing today. So the first 3 I designed. This one today is designed by Monica Gabberti. We take turns every week designing the projects for the week. And I know, it's so pretty, isn't it, Jen? And the paper, like, I just love the designer series paper. So, Okay, so this is our fun fold card for today. And it's not really a super fun fold, other than, again, you guys know, hi, Imelda. I was just talking about you. I love cards that sit up on a desk, and so this one definitely fits the bill. I am in love with these everyday arches so much, and I've used them so much that I just bought another set so I could have two sets on hand. I do a lot of die cutting for classes, and I needed another set because I love these a lot. And then this is the inside of this card. So pretty simple to put together, but I'll go through with you step by step here. Okay, so we are starting out with a piece of Secret C. This is cut 8.5 by 4.25, and then it's scored in the middle at 4.25. So if it's 8.5 by 4.25, and we scored it in the middle at 4.25, we end up with a square card that is 4.25 by 4.25. Okay, so there we go with that. Then you will need two pieces of petal pink that are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So it's going to be a tight fit, but you're going to see that Secret C shining out around the edges, which is what we want, right? So I'm going to start with the inside of my card. And I have that piece of petal pink, and I have a piece of basic white that is 4 by 4. Okay, now all I'm going to do on the inside here is I'm going to stamp my flowers in. Let me remind myself here. Here we go. Darling Duckling. And I'm just going to stamp it right in the corner. We're going to embellish that a little bit here in just a moment. But I'm going to add this basic white to my petal pink panel. Petal pink panel. That's some alliteration, right? So it's going to go right here on the edge. So Imelda has already secured her card class for the week. She was very generous to come over yesterday and place an order and help me with my fundraiser. So I really love that about Stampin' Up, is the amazing people they bring into your life that you would not know otherwise. So I'm so blessed with that. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do some embellishing on here, but I'm going to wait till the end. So now this panel is going to go right inside my card base, and you can see just a touch of Secret C is going to show all the way around the edges. Okay. So I don't know if you heard me at the beginning. Miss Rory is at the vet getting spayed today. So we had to drop her off at 7. And they said, oh, we'll call you anywhere between 11 and 4 to come pick her up. That's a pretty big window, right? But we just want her to be safe with that. Hi, Kathy. It's so pretty. So pretty, Kathy. You're going to love this one. And my condolences to you again, Kathy. My heart is heavy for you and Mary and your family. So I just want you to know that. Okay, so I'm adding a piece of DSP to my petal pink. Now again, this petal pink is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And now my DSP is 4 by 4. And then I'm gonna, I almost did it again. Yesterday I forgot to wrap my ribbon around it. So I'm gonna wrap my ribbon around it, tie it in a bow here. This ribbon, the Mossy Meadow and Gold ribbon, is just stunning, right? So, so pretty. So here we go. You know, the thing about grief, and I'm talking about Kathy. Kathy lost her brother-in-law. Her and her sweet sister Mary are part of my crafting community. And, you know, he had a difficult life, right? polio, maybe wheelchair bound most of his life. But he and Mary had a beautiful family together. And anyway, he passed away last weekend. And, you know, our faith tells us they're in a better place, right? But that does not take away from our grief of missing them here on earth. We know they're in a better place, but it's still, grieving is hard. It's hard not having that person beside you that you've had beside you for your whole life, right? So, anyway, that is why it's okay to say, I'm hurting, right? Even though you know, when you know, right? Okay, so here we go. Here's my bow. That's what I thought. Yeah, polio. All right, so I'm going to place this panel now on the front of this card. So it's important to wrap that ribbon around before you do that. So before you put it down here. And I'm trying to remember, did I use... Nope, I put it flat. So this ribbon is pretty flat, so it's okay to put it flat. It's not going to make it bunch up weird or anything. Okay, there we go. Let me make sure I've got a nice edge. Yep, all the way around. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to start on the top of my card here. So we use some arches. So pretty, right? Okay, so I have 3 arches here. I have one that is in Secret C, and it is the one that the straight base is about 2 7/8 inches. And then I have that petal pink. The base of that one is one smaller. It's 2 5/8 inches. And then I have a basic white here that is 2 1/4 inches. So there you are. Bam, bam, bam. I'm trying to remember here. Let's see. It is the 4th largest, the 5th largest, and the 6th largest. Okay. So I'm going to start by putting my Secret C on my card. Now I'm going to show you, we don't want this to be longer than 5.5 because then it won't fit into an envelope, right? So what I did is I've got my card in the corner here, right? We know this is 4 1/4. I can even put a mark here. This is 5.5 right here. So I don't want the top of my arch to go past that line, okay? So I'm going to set this on here. I'm going to decide where I want it. Kind of, I look at my squares on either side right here, make sure it's kind of centered. Looks like it's almost 3 and almost 3 on either side, okay? So I'm going to add glue just to this bottom part here. Okay, just right like that. Add glue just to the bottom half. I'm going to set this on here and push it down until it is not above that line right there. So that looks good to me right there. Okay, so there's my arch that's on the front, my background arch. Well, you will not be sorry, Kathy, because it is gorgeous, let me tell you. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is take this piece of basic white, and I am going to stamp in petal pink, which I thought I had here. Did I move it over here? Here it is. I'm going to stamp my splatters in the background in petal pink. Okay, so on the white here, and I just move my splatters. I just kind of want them around the edges, really. Don't want them all to be, you know, going all the same way. So that's why I kind of twist and turn it. here we go. I want a little bit going off the edge at the top here. I don't like how they're all kind of sitting underneath it. I want it to flow off the edge. There we go. Okay. So now that I have that stamped, I can glue this on top of my petal pink right here. Well, that's my job, Kathy, right? Is to let you know what sweets you need to order by showing you all the beautiful things, right, that you can make with it. So there we go. All right. Now I've cut another one of those. I'm going to zoom in just a tiny bit here. There we go. Branch out of Old Olive. And if you've already placed an order with me, I know some of you watching right now have, to help with the flood relief efforts. I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much for helping me help others, and you getting what you want with your orders from me, and then helping me help others with flood relief. Okay, so here we go. Here's my darling duckling. Here is, I'm going to put that pencil away because it keeps wanting to, and I have a piece of darling duckling paper here, and I am going to stamp twice, two things of flowers here on darling duckling. Darling duckling on darling duckling, okay? And then, I'm going to leave that open for just a second. I am going to stamp my Pears in Old Olive ink. But I want my stems to be brown. So what I'm going to do is grab my Stampin' Right marker in Early Espresso, and I'm just going to cover the stems with Early Espresso ink to give them more of a brown tone. Okay? There we go. And then when I stamp this, you're going to see that the pears and the leaves are Old Olive, but the stems are Early Espresso. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to grab the inside of this, and I'm going to ink it up in Darling Duckling. Okay, I'm going to grab my sponge daubers here, and I'm going to be sponge daubing some Old Olive right around the edges here to give it that kind of watercolor look, just like I did yesterday. Okay. Then I'm going to stamp this right inside my pears here. It's a little easier with the Old Olive than it was with the basic beige yesterday. How pretty is that? Isn't that pretty? How that looks like that. Okay, now I'm going to grab my blender pen and my Old Olive ink here. And I'm going to use my blender pen to grab some ink, and I'm going to ink my leaves in Old Olive. Now, I'm going to color them all solid in Old Olive, and then I'm going to come back and add a little, it's kind of doing it on its own here, but I'm going to add a little depth to some of these, little shading to the lower levels here of these leaves. There we go. So pretty, right? All right, now I'm going to grab my dies. I have a die for the flowers and a die for the pears. Let me pull those out of here. Here's my flowers. we go. I'm going to have to roll those through twice. And then here's my pears. All right. So, Jim and I have been watching a show that's been very interesting. I'm not sure what channel it's on. People always ask me that, like, is it Netflix or what is it? And I'm always like, I don't know, because Jim always finds them and just loads them up for me. So there's our pears, and then here's one set of flowers, and I need to do the flowers I'm working on. It's called Diagnosis, and it is a doctor who, a real live doctor, who finds people who have been struggling with an undiagnosed disease, and she crowdsources all over the world, not just the United States, to try to find other doctors who might have an idea of what might be going on, so that they can get the treatment they need. It is fascinating to watch, because these people have been struggling with illnesses for a very long time, and she helps find maybe some answers for them, which is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to start putting these flowers on my stem right here, and I'm going to use some dimensionals behind here. Hi, Jen. Thanks for joining us. I always love when you're here. Okay, so I'm going to add dimensional right there. I'm going to just put dimensionals on everything all at once here. How about that, since I have them out? Here's another. And then I'm using my edges here to get rid of these. I use every little piece of my dimensionals. Probably my most, that and envelopes are probably my most ordered items. Okay, so this is going to go right here. I have another one that's going to go down here at the bottom. Maybe a little lower. There we go. And then my pears are going to kind of go right in between the two sets of flowers. Anyway, you should check it out. Diagnosis is the name of it. It's fascinating. So I want it to like a little off the edge that way. Okay, there we go. I think I'm going to go ahead and add this to my card front. So I'm going to put dimensionals on my petal pink here. Arches. These arches have just, I'm shocked at all the uses of them, right? Like, at first they came out with a rainbow set, and then I just keep finding other uses for them. It's pretty amazing. Okay, there we go. So there is the front. Now we need a sentiment, and this time we're using congratulations in Secret C. Ah, so nice. Hi, Linda. My heart hurts for you as well. Gosh, so much sadness in our lives right now, and I'm so sorry for your loss as well, Linda. I want you to hear me say that. We live in an imperfect world for sure, and sometimes it just hurts, right? Okay, so I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back of my congratulations here, And the reason I'm using liquid glue is because these are already raised. So I don't need any dimensionals behind my congratulations right there. There we go. How pretty is that? Now, you guys, all I have to do is add my embellishments here, and we're good to go. Tomorrow's gifty project is going to be amazing. So please come back tomorrow and watch me do that. Time is yet to be determined. So I don't know if you guys heard me. Rory is having space surgery today. My husband is having an ablation on his heart done on Thursday, and my son is coming into town to visit on Friday, and Lucy's birthday party is on Saturday. So we have just a lot going on in our lives right now. Busy, busy, busy for sure. Okay, so there we go. There's some embellishments added, those shiny, dark. They're almost petal pink, but I think they blend with I said petal pink. I meant pretty peacock, but they blend really well and look a lot like Secret Sea as well. And then we decided that on the inside here, we're going to add some of these smaller ones. These are pretty flat. I would not always add embellishments to the inside, but in this case, they're called low profile shimmer sparkle dots. And low profile means they're not very high. They don't have a lot of dimension to them. They're pretty flat. So there we go. There is card number 2. So let's pull out all of our cards so far. I said card number 2. That is card number 4. So these were yesterday's cards. So pretty. Is there a single one of them that isn't stinking gorgeous, like standalone gorgeous, right? So there you go. There are my cards so far for our online class to go. Oh, thanks for letting me know, Linda. I hurt for you. I really do. Okay, so if you would like to get this card set in the mail and help me with the flood relief fundraiser, please place an order of $50 or more right here in my TuddleUpShop.com this week, and I would be happy to get you a card kit of all 5 projects for the week in the mail to you, okay? Join me back here tomorrow morning for our gifty item using the Perfectly Pears bundle and the Painterly Pears suite. So God bless everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.